Alright, so in here, I've got a complete 1/4 inch, 3/8 drive and 1/2 inch Quinn socket set for our service needs here at the shop. Socket's pretty nice, used on these Icon ratchets.
Kenny stuff too. Every time I look at it, that was all outside of when you get to the half sit hold the deep sockets. They just have space for one or the other. So all my shallows are in there. My deeps I use primarily when I'm pulling wheels.
All the shallows came with the set, not the deeps? Or the
No,
deep
shallows and deeps all came together. Just if you're looking in here, my deep sockets and the 1/2 inch drive are all on that.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
There wasn't enough room in their rails.
But still wanted the Pittsburgh ones too, huh?
Yeah, I needed a specific size, and I was only really after the one. So I needed 12 point. So I ended up buying their Pittsburgh kit just because I didn't feel like.
Yeah. We don't discriminate here in the shop. The Ryobi, Ingersoll Rand, Ingersoll Rand. Who knows power torque? Power torque. Some guys are running the Snap-on and Milwaukee. Alright, so I actually kind of remember this set here. You guys remember this thing? I will tell you though, mine did not last. I purchased this in 2010, one-time use, blew the freaking tip right off. I wouldn't recommend it, but it looks like they've been kind of using it and having no problems so far. Bits still look fairly new. Handle looks like it's used. I wonder how many of these hot rods they've gone through. I'll have to ask. got a chance to see the kind of tools that we have over at Big O Tire Center. A lot of it, like I said, stems from Harbor Freight. And I thought I would go ahead and use this evening off, since I don't have anything going on after work, to stop by Harbor Freight. And if I was going to do it all over again from scratch, how much honestly could I get on a budget? What would that budget be? First, I'm going to start off with everything that I think I would need as a starting lube tech. And then we're going to progressively go to the next level of tech, We're not going to go into the mastery of tech. What we're going to say is this will start you off anywhere from your first day, first week, first month, okay, up to your first year when you've received training to move on to other things like brakes, shock struts, steering suspension stuff. And then we're going to round it off with some under the hood maintenance things that you might end up doing. And let's just say that you're trying to build this tool set on a budget. How would I do it if I was a new tech starting out? Let's go see what all I would get and how much it would cost. And I'll try to bring a calculator too. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with this 428 piece set for $400. So overall, not a bad starter set, especially if you have $400. Covers 1/4 inch, 3/8 drive, 1/2 inch, 6-point sockets, deep and shallow, okay? You can't even find a full 6-point set deep and shallow on the shelf. Now you can for some of them, but in the shallows towards 3/8 you're gonna see here pretty soon, 12-point. You might wanna go ahead and pause the video here. On the back of the box, it'll show you all the sizes it covers from 1/4 inch to 3/8 to 1/2 inch, the bits, the Allens, the adapters, the ratchet wrenches, the crescent wrench, the screwdrivers, and everything else that comes in this kit. We're also going to take a look at this 301 piece Pittsburgh set kit for $169. Now look, the screwdrivers are not the best quality. They round out. The metal is super soft, especially when it comes to the wrenches. The open end tends to splay. But for $301, if that's what you can afford to start off with, run it. And then exchange the things that you that you found that failed, because you're going to find that some of these tools fail, especially more so with Pittsburgh than Quinn, and we're going to talk about this throughout the video. Again, if you want to pause it, this shows all the sizes from the 1/2 inch, the 1/4 inch, the 3/8, the ratchets it comes with, the pliers that it comes with, etc. So this would be a good time to pause the video if you'd like to. Not a bad kit if it's all you can afford, okay? There are other options out there, but it's on your affordability. I'm just going to try to see if I can fit this kit under a $700 budget. I believe we can do it better, but let's just see. Okay, so then we have that icon. Obviously a little bit overpriced here, right? You get less pieces, $150, 54-piece set. But hey, if you're moving up, it's a way to step up. I think we're going to start off with this kit. $100, not bad, 1/4 inch set. And we're going to go ahead and look at the 1/2 inch set. But I believe this 1/4 inch set is good to go for me for starting off as a lube tech. I also like these ratchets and I fancy the comfort grip. And I believe getting a 1/4 inch, a 3/8 drive, as well as a 1/2 inch is something that I'm willing to spend a little extra money on when it comes to building my own socket, ratchet, and extension kit, okay? So let's go ahead and grab these 3 ratchets. We'll start tallying it up. I'm also going to grab the 1/2 inch impact sockets because you're going to use impact with 1/2 inch more than you will by using a hand tool. So for that, I say let's use some impact for the 1/2 inch. Let's grab these chrome set for the 1/4 inch. And I think we're going to go around the corner here and find the 3/8 drive Quinn sockets, because I believe that they're better metal than the Pittsburgh, but probably not as good of metal as the Icon. But for our budget, I feel like Quinn is the way to go. I just think that we can do better than that $400 piece set as a starting lube, tire, battery tech. Even one that does brakes and it's starting to dabble with steering and suspension. Also, you're going to need these because for your lube services, you're going to run into situations where you need Allens at the very least, and sometimes E-Torques. And sometimes, especially for CV axles, you might need a torque spit. So we're going to go ahead and grab this set, add it into our arsenal. Lots of sockets to choose from, but you're going to see here with the 3/8 drive in the shallow, 12-point only, we are going to end up grabbing that. But I just wanted to show you, I looked, could not find a 6-point set. Only in the deep. Only in the deep. Yes, I do see the spark plug socket to the right of it, but you're not ready for that, nor am I. We're starting lube techs after all. So let's go ahead and add up our 3/8 and see where we're at with our budget. Okay, so you can see with just getting some sockets and that bit kit, we're getting pretty close to our budget as it is. But you're going to see I'm going to pick up a lot of things here at really inexpensive prices. It's still going to keep it around that $400 range. And I think you're going to be surprised what it is that I pick up. See, even I'm pondering what's the next move for a lube tech. How about a little set of dikes or little wire nippers? Because you might have to solder a wire, even a small one, if you see some rodent damage. Not bad. You're also going to want a set of slip joint pliers of some kind, because even for those oil caps on top, they can be stubborn and you might have to like pinch and give a little twist. So we're going to add those in on the cheap, because that's all you're planning on doing with these two things, okay? We're not trying to cut cotter pins or do anything crazy. This is for light lube tech stuff. So I feel like the Pittsburgh stuff is okay with this battle. Same goes with the screwdrivers. You saw me try out the Quinn and the Icon on a slightly beveled out screw, and you can see they all did the same exact thing. But these ones have the short, stubby screwdrivers, which are going to be more beneficial to you if you're doing cabin air filters. So I'd rather go with that Pittsburgh set. This flashlight was the best for the cheapest price at $6.99. You're going to need this to look at things underneath the car, under the hood, as well as for brake pads and things like that. It's got some pretty decent lightage for the lumens that it has. So for $6.99, that's a good deal. We're going to put that in there too. You need a flashlight, you know, might as well spend $7 on one. Okay, I have these. I know they're in the Matco brand, but I have all these same sizes: 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15. $20. That's a screaming deal, and they're going to work out well for you, and that's going to cover everything that you need metric-wise. I don't think you're going to need the SAE at this point. A mirror. You're going to need a mirror. Sometimes you might not have to pull a tire, but want to check the inside brake pad, and you're going to need a magnet because sometimes you drop things. Not bad for $3.99. So we'll add those into our toolkit, see where it puts us. Getting pretty close to that $400 range. Think we still have a little bit of wiggly room. Don't worry about getting these. Again, the tire shop provides them for you. But we might want a hammer. Should we go with the Icon? Obviously not. Too expensive. But it's nice to know that they have them for more reasonable prices than the Snap-on ones. And they look the same, feel the same, and look to be made of some pretty good material. No, we're going to go with the trusty all-steel head 4-pound sludge. Because when you're popping them rotors loose, you don't want a dead blow. You want metal. Just sludge. That's what you want. That's what's going to pop those things loose. Not some dead blow, not some Snap-on. Oh, this is the greatest. No, I'm telling you, I've got an Irwin one, costs a little bit more, but I started off with the Pittsburgh. You can't go wrong. Get a 4-pound sludge. Puts us at about $4.05. Pry bars. These are the two most common pry bars you're going to use. Yes, you can use a screwdriver to move those brake calipers in just a little bit to slide them off, but this medium 18-inch one, you're going to use this one all the time to check for ball joint play, wheel bearings, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and add that in. Okay. Now we're down here to the final price, $416.81, $417.80. Now let's talk about service carts. So this service cart, $229, okay? You get 4 drawers and you get slots to put things. Instead of this one drawer for $129.99, it's $100 more. You get more storage room. As a starting lube tech, I believe this is the best cart. Let's add this in here. And here we go with the final price. $647.79 plus tax, so around $700. All right, so that's pretty much how I would start off if I had absolutely a limited budget. If I needed to fit everything within a $700 budget, let's just say $1,000 tops. All right, so you guys saw pretty much everybody's toolbox at Big O Tire. A lot of Harbor Freight US Generals. There was a Homac there. Some Yukon boxes there. A lot of different starter toolboxes. Most of them coming from Harbor Freight as it was. You saw a lot of tools. Very few Snap-on. Very few Milwaukee. A lot of them Harbor Freight. We're talking Icon, Quinn, Pittsburgh. That's the majority of the tools you can expect at a lube and tire shop when you're just getting started. Not a bad way to go.
You saw throughout this video, if I was to start all over again, what would I pick today to start off with, as I just got hired by Big O, and I'm thinking that I should have my own tools within the first month, 2 months tops, somewhere in there. First 2 weeks to 2 months, somewhere in there, okay? Because you're gonna get there. You are gonna get there. You're gonna wanna utilize your own hand tools to do the jobs that you're doing. You're gonna find that somebody doesn't want you to use their tool, or they don't wanna loan it out. You're gonna find that they don't have the tool that you need to borrow to do the job that you've been asked to do. You're gonna find that you have more respect and appreciation for your own tools than you do somebody else's. You're gonna find yourself a sense of pride because you're the one working really, really hard for the money that you made to purchase this toolkit that is your be-all, end-all to start off with. Yes, you can upgrade over time. Would I upgrade over sockets? I don't know if that's a big deal right now. Most of them are kind of all made in the same exact area. Yes, there's some that are made of better quality. Wrenches, yes, try to get yourself a better quality than the cheap of the cheap, because you're gonna have issues. And there are some things you can get away with that are stupid, super cheap, versus paying mediocre to astronomically expensive prices on. Yes, Amazon is a good way to go. Yes, eBay is a good way to go. Pawn shops are a good way to go. Facebook Marketplace is a good way to go. But if you don't want to buy them used and you're persistent on trying to buy them new, Harbor Freight's not a bad way to go. Home Depot's not a bad way to go. Lowe's is not a bad way to go. They don't have Sears anymore. That's out. When I first started, I worked at Sears. That's where my secondary pickups came from. I actually started off my entire first mechanics tool set that I ever purchased with my student loans. I had about a $1,500 budget, and I bought all kinds of stuff from Harbor Freight within that $1,500 budget. But I will tell you, out of that $1,500 budget, at least $500 to $700 of those tools failed within the first month. And from there, I ended up transitioning into Craftsman, still made in the USA. Some of them were starting to become Taiwanese and made in China, but not fully. They were still, a lot of them were still made in the USA. I wish I would have kept the majority of them. I did not. I outgrew those and went into so many different other platforms over the years, but I can't share the opinion about them. I think you guys are gonna find your own opinion about the tools that you utilize as you utilize them. Some people have good experience with the Icon, some people do not. Some people have good experience with Gear Wrench, some people do not. Some people have good experience with Mountain, some do not. With Proto, with Williams, with Husky, with Quinn, with Pittsburgh, with Channel Lock. Like, there's so many different tool companies out there. You gotta find what fits within your budget, and you gotta decide how much you actually need it. Let's take it down even to a pick set. Do you really need a pick set? Sometimes, yeah, you do. It is beneficial to get underneath something. But is it so super beneficial that you don't want to spend $2 on a super cheap Pittsburgh pick set because you really want the comfort grip on a pick set? So you spend 20 bucks, you spend an additional $18 on a pick set? Can you get away with just using a screwdriver in the meantime until you have enough money for a pick set? Do you need to have a Snap-on label on your pick set? Or are you content and capable of surviving with the pick set that you have that you spent $2 on? Like, these are the decisions that you make as an adult. Male, female doesn't matter, but as an adult, you have to decide, how much do I really need that higher end one? Maybe you want higher end ratchets, but you're cool with cheaper sockets. You know what I mean? Maybe your experience with higher end sockets is really no different than that of the cheaper ones. And we'll get into tolerance discussions and socket discussions at a later time. But for right now, I believe that this starter set that we were able to fill in, we were able to get a service cart. And the only thing out of all the tools that we selected today for starting off that we did not get and cover under that budget, which you could probably fit in for about 20 to 25 bucks, was a 3/8 drive, 3-piece or 4-piece extension set. That's the only thing that we did not pick up, because we did get the 3/8 drive deep and shallow sockets. Even though shallow was 12 point, deep was 6 point, we did not consider the 3/8 extensions, which came with the other two kits. So aside from that, we're probably closer to about $675. Still under that $700 budget, but look, at the end of the day, it is your budget. You could play with it as you want to. You could go the Pittsburgh route and that budget would come down a substantial amount. You could come up and figure out different tools and figure it out. But these are my thoughts and opinions. I'll share more based on comments. We'll create other discussion topics. Let me know what you guys think. Love y'all. I hope you're having a great TGIF, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers and deuces. Make sure to comment about what you want to see up and coming. I'm more than willing to discuss anything that you guys want to discuss. I try to base off some of my videos off of the discussions and comments that we have. So that's what I got. Thank you. We'll see you guys later. Bye.